Hi, good evening everybody. Welcome to Inside the Numbers, the video on the channel. If you're new here, I pull out the board. Sometimes it's trades, sometimes it's numbers, sometimes it's just crazy stuff. So today it's numbers, guys. And I'm counting down who are the 10 youngest teams in the NHL right now going into this year. Where do the Sabres stand? Because let's face it, guys, they all got a year older, right? So let's take a look. We'll talk about it. So what I've done here, guys, I put how many games of experience a team has, okay? And the average age. It ranks from 27.33 years old at number 10 to the youngest team in the league at 25.54. At the moment, this can change for these teams. All of a sudden, somebody acquires somebody 37 and somebody trades somebody 37. This all changes, you know what I mean? So it could happen. Let's get into it, guys, and we will get this started. So coming in at number 10, at 27.33 years old, with 8,306 games, is Philadelphia. Philadelphia come in at number 10. As we know, they're early in their rebuild, right? They're getting started, basically. And I expect them to go up as the years go on, to go up this list to one of the younger teams in the NHL. They're in the top 10 youngest, though. They are tanking. A polite tanking, you know what I mean. They are getting rid of some of their key pieces. Coming in at number 9 with 8,831 games experience at 27.32 years old. This might surprise a few of you. Detroit. Detroit are officially the 9th youngest team in hockey, guys, going into this year, right now as we speak. So when everybody's talking about how young they are in Detroit, and I've said before, they're not as young as everybody says. They're not. They're the 9th youngest team in hockey. Okay. Coming in at number 8, guys. This time with 8,638 games experience at 27.29 years old. And, whoop, Winnipeg come in at number 8 as the 8th youngest team in hockey. A little younger than I thought they were, to be honest. This kind of caught me off guard. This is the one team on this list that kind of caught me by surprise. Okay, number 7 has 7,598 games experience at 27.23 years old. Okay, the Vancouver Canucks, guys, come in at number 7 on this list. I guess you're wondering where our boys are this year. We were the youngest team in hockey last year, let's not forget. So we'll see where we land in this list. And guys, keep in mind the Sabres could still get younger, okay? Before I finish out this, I want to make that clear. We could get younger, which I'll talk about in videos later on. All right, the 6th youngest team has 8,156 games experience, 26.87 years old. Now we're in the 26s. So these are the 27s, and these are the 26s, okay? These 3 teams here, and all the 25s are up here. There's no 24s this time around. So coming in at number 6, reading this off my computer, guys, because I don't have any clue of this off heart. Still very young, the New Jersey Devils, who we all know now are for real and their future's for real. And I believe this is going to be the future rivals of the Buffalo Sabres. I do. And Ottawa. Ottawa, New Jersey, Buffalo. And we might be able to throw Detroit in there eventually. Right now, not yet. I just don't think Detroit right now is much of a threat. Not yet. But we'll see. Weird things happen during the year, guys. All right, coming in at number 5 with 7,106 games experience, 26.29 years old. I don't think this will surprise many. Is the Ottawa Senators. They come in at number 5 If I said number 6, I meant number 5. I can't remember what I said. Okay, number 4 has 6,356 games, and 26.20 is the average age on this team. The Arizona Coyotes, guys, come in at number 4. So that means the Sabres, guys, are in the top 3 this year. Think about it. Pretty crazy, eh? Really. All right, coming in at number 3 with 6,434 career games is the second lowest on the board in experience that way. An average age of 25.96. Make sure I get it right. So there's no discrepancy. Is the Montreal Canadiens. They come in next at number 3. So these two teams have the lowest amount of games, but these two teams here have more games of experience, but they're younger. Okay, coming in at number 2, guys. The Columbus Blue Jackets come in at number 2 with 7,121 games, 25.66 years old. Buffalo still the youngest team in the league again, guys. 7,404 games experience, 25.54 years old. This is the youngest this team has been. For all of you fans that have been following the Buffalo Sabres, let me get that in a sec, guys. Probably all your life. This is the youngest team you might have ever seen, just so you know. We'll compare it here, guys, so I can close it up in a sec. So we're the youngest team in the league this year again. And where does that stand historically? Well, let's take a quick look at that. I put that out there for you as well, because y'all been good boys and girls. So number 12, the 1980-81 Buffalo Sabres was 25.56 years old. And there's this year's Sabres, the 11th youngest in history. So a lot of you, when I talk about the 80s rebuild, it's in here, you know. 25.50 years, 25.50, and I got it there, 25.54, which is very bizarre that I screwed up like that, guys. I know it's the 5.4. I don't know what made me put a 5.0. I must have rushed it. Anyway. So that's where the Sabres stand all time, as the 11th youngest team in our history, okay? So the 80-81 Sabres, they lost to the North. I'm going to try and remember as I go through this list. 80-81, we lost to the North Stars 4-1 in the second round. 23-24, we don't know. It's this year. 78-79, we lost the first round to the Penguins right before Scotty came in. That team was 25.46 years old. 86-87, dead last overall, the Turgeon year that we got him in the draft, 25.36 years old. The eighth youngest team, the 1984-85 Buffalo Sabres, I believe, and I'm sure I'm right, lost the first round to Quebec. Probably, 25.31 years old. 74-75 Sabres, the team that went to the Stanley Cup Finals as the youngest. Look at how young they were, 25.19 years old. And they should have won the cup, really. All right, 81-82. We were 25.15 years old is when Scotty started the rebuild. Because I always call it the 83 rebuild because it peaked in its youth in 83, guys, and in the playoffs. 81-82, I don't recall what happened in the playoffs. I draw a blank. I don't know why I draw a blank. And I never draw blanks that long ago, usually. 89-90, Buffalo Sabres, 25.09 years old. I believe Montreal took us out that year. I believe. I could be wrong. Or it might have been 88-89, 25.00. The reason I'll explain in a sec why there's so many blanks about the 80s is because we didn't win a first round all these years. So it's like something I put out of my head. The 83-84 Buffalo Sabres were 24.62 years old. That was the year we lost to Quebec in the playoffs, yes. I remember that vividly. 87-88 Buffalo Sabres, 24.59 years old. Cannot recall what happened in the playoffs that year either. The 82-83 Sabres, of course, came one goal away from the Final Four, and that was the Brad Park infamous goal for the Bruins, sadly. And that's it. So the youngest team in our history, guys, the 83 Sabres, 24.41. The 2023-24 Buffalo Sabres would have been under 24 if we didn't go and sign Johnson, but Adams thinks we need the depth on the blue line. I understand that. So that's kind of the mistake maybe we made here in some of these teams, you know what I mean? But if you take a look, I want to point something out. It's kind of like two videos in one, but guys, it's not going to be that long of a video. If you look why Scotty lost his job, check it out. 82-83, 24.41. Excellent playoffs. 83-84, choke up the last 4 games of the year, lose the first round 3 straight. 24.62 years old, a little older. Then where's 84-85? Not there. Oh, it is there. 83-84, 84-85, 25.31 years old, lose the first round again. Then 85-86, I don't believe is on here, right? Right, it's not on here. So they got a little older. I don't recall why. 86-87, they finished last overall. So look at this. Promising playoff, 4 years later, last overall, still very young. This is why when I talk about, guys, when I talk about perhaps the Sabres could take a step backwards this year, I can tell you, and I should have marked it up here. I'll do another video sometime on it. But I can tell you that since Adams has taken over, they've gotten younger as the games of experience has went up. It's kind of the opposite of what's going on here. The Sabres are getting younger in this rebuild because he brought in mentorship, right? To try and change the dressing room and the attitude. So, and it worked. So no problems there. All right, guys, I want to get on it. I want to get 3 out to you. Done for this one. See you in the next one.